As a teacher of English language and literature, writer and co-author of the textbooks Inspired English, Creative Writing, and Critical Thinking Through Art, I have been amazed by the deep levels of interpretation, skill development, and creative writing achieved by students who engage with art as an avenue for developing inspiration for writing. Based on trialed and tested techniques of students enthusiastically responding to works of art, extensive research, and evaluations, this accessible approach will help you seek inspiration and improve your skill as a confident writer and reader. Have you ever found yourself in a state of writer's block, or seek to enrich your writing with new perspectives, but don't quite know where to look for that spark of inspiration? Inspiration that you can personally connect with? Perhaps you're a student completing a creative writing assignment for English, or you've dedicated yourself to writing your own novel, poetry, short stories, and find the need to get your creative juices flowing. Perhaps you're an English educator seeking to embed innovative pedagogies into your classroom teaching, one that is liberating for your students and encourages divergent thinking. The stimulus? Art. One of the key questions you may ask is, why use art in the English classroom? Well, art, like literature, fires the imagination through the power of imagery and is a very powerful textual source for inspiring writing. What are the benefits of using art to inspire your writing? Firstly, art develops your visual literacy. Students live in a world flooded with visual imagery. Describing, analyzing, and discussing works of art is an engaging and effective way of developing these key skills, which involves critical thinking. Additionally, using art develops your descriptive writing. Looking intently at works of art fosters your ability to notice and write about details. Art will provide you with something tangible to describe, such as color and form, which also develops rich and diverse vocabulary, encouraging you to experiment with language to enhance your writing. You can use the ideas generated towards writing a whole range of text types. The ideas expressed through works of art communicate themes relating to culture, history, contemporary society, and the human condition. This provides you with a strong purpose to write in a range of text types, ranging from poetry, narratives, feature articles, persuasive writing, to play scripts. Moreover, this process will heighten your understanding of the relationship between art and literature. You'll appreciate that both writers and artists convey meaning through imagery. Writers choose words and literary devices to paint a picture in the same way that an artist achieves their outcome with their tools, such as line, color, form, and composition. It's fun, and you'll develop lots of interpersonal skills. When we analyze and experience a previously unseen visual text as a community, we become readers reading the same work simultaneously. Ideas and interpretations are shared. Students experience the value of learning from each other and come to respect others' opinions. Finally, taking inspiration from art strengthens our appreciation of the nature of art and its relevance to our lives. Your awareness of the powerful relationship between word and image promotes innovative thinking about meaningful connections between art and other subjects, and above all, develops your pure enjoyment of writing. When students draw on the visual image as inspiration for their writing, they're actually engaging in the tradition of ekphrasis, a poetic response dating back to the ancient Greeks, which has been practiced through the centuries by celebrated writers and poets, including William Blake, Sylvia Plath, John Keats, and William Carlos Williams. Plutarch immortalized the special relationship between art and poetry with his now very famous aphorism: painting is mute poetry, and poetry is a speaking picture. Now I'll be demonstrating just how rich art as a non-literary text can be to develop inspiration and writing of poetry in particular. Along with it, developing students' critical and creative thinking skills. In this particular example, I will use Mark Rothko's painting, Untitled Red, 1954. At first glance, you're probably questioning how this abstract artwork could possibly generate ideas for poetry. It might appear to offer little more than a red haze. Well, let's experience the magic of ekphrasis together. Through some guided exploration, you will discover the role that viewers play in the process of meaning making, which involves, step 1, careful observation and looking. Step 2, interpretation and asking hypothetical questions. Step 3, putting your poetry into words. And step 4, sharing or performing your work. Look closely. What's going on in the painting? The looking process will engage you with small, sometimes unnoticed details, setting the stage for meaning making and forming a relationship with the work. Prolonged looking, or rather reading an artwork, also activates close observational and interpretive skills, encouraging you to respond to the painting in an imaginative and personal way.
What's going on in the painting? When you first look at an artwork, whatever it might be a photograph, it might be an abstract painting like this, the first thing you'd probably do is look at it really, really carefully, okay? So careful looking will reveal to you secrets or intriguing details, right? That we don't pick up at a casual glance. So I want you to look at this artwork intently.
The teacher then acts as a facilitator, asking students a set of open-ended questions whilst looking at the artwork as a community.
So, first question. What do you see?
A sheet of red.
A sheet of red.
What word might best describe your first impression? What does it make you think about? And what did you see that inspired those thoughts?
I think the painting could depict the red is all just the people in the world, and then the little lighter shade of red could be the people that are different, and it could be to show them standing out.
When I look at it, when you see the sort of strip of pink separating the two reds, it makes you think about separation. And along with the white border and the white lines in between everything that are kind of blurred.
How does it remind you of an experience in your life? What kind of emotions would we associate with the painting? Where are you? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you smell?
I heard white noise, when things are too loud and when things are too loud so you hear silence.
I smelled the sweet scent of roses. and I heard like a waterfall.
This first step intends to get students warmed up and at ease to think creatively and divergently about the artwork. Pointing to parts of the image that students mention further focuses their attention on the image, as does paraphrasing what they say to ensure everyone has heard the comments that have been validated by the teacher. Interpret. What meanings and connections can you make? This step encourages students to explain the visual evidence that has led them to the initial ideas about the work of art. This promotes the development of higher order thinking, visual literacy skills, and interpersonal skills as they listen to and consider the views of others. They also discuss multiple possible interpretations.
What would your title for this painting be?
Love and doom.
Love and Doom. And why? What did you see that made you say that?
Because they're like two separations of red, and I think there are like two main like feelings associated with it, like love and like compassion, but at the same time like violence and danger. So that's why I chose to like have kind of two contrasting sides of it in the title.
Think imaginatively. What if? Hypothetical questions are what if questions that encourages students to think imaginatively about particular situations from various perspectives.
So if this was a piece of music or style of music, you say it would be contemporary?
Or impressionist. Like I said contemporary because like there's no melody.
Describe the artwork. Experiment with descriptive writing and come up with a bank of rich vocabulary phrases that you could then use in your extended writing. The visual elements in art provides a focus for developing literary devices such as simile, metaphor, alliteration, and onomatopoeia, allowing you to practice and experiment using the devices inspired by the visual imagery you see. At this stage, it is up to the teacher's discretion on whether they want to explain the artist's context to enrich the students' understanding of the painting further. Put your words into poetry. The ideas generated through art can now be used as a starting point for writing poetry. Even hesitant poets and those constricted by the idea that poetry must rhyme are empowered to use their figurative language inspired by works of art. Students are free to choose their own poetry forms or be guided by the teacher. A collaborative list poem is a great way to start, which invites ideas from everyone.
I chose the phrase an angry silence.
I chose a deathly rose.
I chose the word narcissistic.
I chose the phrase stains of love.
I chose the phrase a subtle change of emotions.
I chose the phrase unfiltered feelings.
I wrote cherry sauce pie.
Performing your poetry. Performing and sharing work gives students opportunities to practice and improve the delivery techniques.
A battlefield in my head. A pulsing lifeline. Seas of passion, rolling waves. Throbbing stains of love and hate. A calamitous occasion. Fields of roses, sweet like love. Memories of a lifetime splattered across my mind. A waterfall of bitter blood, raging like war. A spark of hope, a flowing sorrow. A pulsing heart, a fading fate. A turbulent storm, a traffic jam at night. Flames of hope still burning deep within. A burning passion, a flame in the mist. A crimson sunset, gaze into the iris. Unstoppable rage, rage inside me, demolishing my sanity. Thinking I'm safe, but hear the steps of doom come closer every day. Pain, Every moment passes, feeling like an eternity. The devil is here.
As you can see, art is such an accessible medium for our writing inspiration. Thinking laterally about an artwork develops your observational and interpretive skills, your use of descriptive techniques, vocabulary development, and imaginative use of literary devices. This approach is so relevant and accessible for today's students living in an increasingly globalized and visual world. So, what are some top tips that you can take away? Look at the world around you for inspiration. What artworks, art styles interest you? Make personal connections with these visual images. Great writers connect with their audience through personal experience. Find out more about the story behind the picture. You may use the artist and their context to further your understanding and inspiration. Look intently at images. You will find that there's a whole world of stories that we often miss by not stopping to observe. Look, interpret, ask hypothetical questions. Put your ideas into descriptive words and share your work. You can use these steps to create a whole range of text types inspired by art.